Hello, my name is Brandon. I sing in a silly rock group called Incubus. Why don't you come on over and join us in the hothouse? It's getting steamy in there. Some of the band were into Metallica and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. This was around 1991. And then we started getting into this Mr. Bungle album and hearing what you could do with like hard music and funk and like ska and stuff like that. And so the first song we wrote was called Lovesick, and it was just this really, really bad, cheesy like funk metal something or other, you know. I think it was sort of in the vein of the Mr. Bungle thing, but our version was really terrible. But you could kind of see what, you know, what we had going. We actually did it, and we recorded it on video for an English project for 10th grade, and we have it on video, but I think we burned it. I think that if you were to classify an Incubus fan, it would be someone who is not involved in any one music scene. They don't dress one particular way. They don't have one particular train of thought. You know, it's like a conglomerate. You know, it's like I was saying to you earlier. It's a gathering, so to speak, of different ideas. We found DJ Kilmore. He's from the East Coast, and we met him about 2 days before we were leaving for our next tour, and it was really kind of a chaotic time for the band. And he came to our rehearsal, and we hung out with him for like an hour or so. We just talked, and we really felt a very genuine connection with him as a person, which is kind of the most important thing. And then we played with him, and were extremely impressed with his ability. He's been a DJ for about 13 years, and his background in music is it's just like it even surpasses like anybody in the band. You know, he knows how to read music. He was in school a little bit for it. He came from like a DJ battle crew and stuff like that. And so what he brought to the band was a level of musicality with turntables that we'd never seen before. We did the Ozfest this summer, and it went over amazing, you know. But at first thought, you know, you think of like the one-eyed, one-toothed drunkard with a mullet, like, yeah, play some Skinner, you know, like that whole thing, and that's kind of scary to me. It's going to be like a live drum and bass with like on the jazz tip, mixed with our blend of artsy thrash, I guess you could say. So if if that makes any sense, and we've already even written a couple of songs that are in that vein. Our guitar player Michael was flipping through a thesaurus, and he found the word incubus, where in the thesaurus it said a spirit that seduces women in their sleep. And all of us, like 15 years old, were all right, yeah, that's it, that's our name. So like, you know, every year, we've been a band for about 8 years, every year since then we've been like, all right, so what are we going to change it to, you know?
We knew that we liked hard, heavy music. We liked fast, you know, punk rock music. We liked, you know, hip hop. We liked funk. We didn't really know, you know, but bands at the time that we were listening to, you know, like, you know, Primus and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and you know, those bands were kind of, I think, all at their largest point during that time. And you know, we were teenagers in high school. You know, we were in 10th grade, and I don't know. That was kind of just, you know, that was what we were exposed to at the time. But we didn't really set out, you know, with anything specific in mind. I mean, even at the very beginning, we almost wanted to have two bands. You know, one that only played funk and one that only played like hard stuff. You know what I mean? And that, you know, that wouldn't have worked. So we just kind of combined everything together into a big mess. I've seen a lot of heavy music in particular that I don't care for at all. And I just like to see, you know, some more musicality being thrown into the mix of everything, you know, more musical color and not so much, you know, yelling and screaming and just some music I guess is designed to make people beat each other up, but and sometimes we're confused with that, and that's not something that we're into at all. It's like this really direct control that you have over a sound. With your hand, you can manipulate the pitch and the tone, and it's very much like any other instrument. You can feel the vibration of the sound coming through a record needle. You can feel it in your fingertips, and it's like it's not just like some stale keyboard or sampler or drum machine or something like that where you're just hitting a note and it comes out the same every time. Every time you do something, it's different. The Black Sabbath tour, that's gonna be fun. I'm a little bit scared of getting pelted with beer bottles by belligerent Pantera fans, but aside from that, I think we'll be okay. It's an honor and a privilege to be on tour with Ozzy. I think that the role that the DJ can play can be more of a musical role and a central role in the band, which is something that it just wasn't on our first record. It was kind of more along the lines of, bringing in a percussionist to play some stuff over something you already did. It really didn't carry the music at all. It was just kind of something that was thrown on top to add a little bit of flavor. But I think we're going to build a lot more around the DJ on this next record that we're hopefully going to be writing pretty soon. We're all nerds, like it seems like the cool kids are always the cool kids because of all the things that they don't like, and we're very open-minded, and I guess that makes us nerds.